Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and here we're finishing up my Hornet SC 360 from Missing Link here. Here's a picture of the box of one of them. So, give you an idea what this kit looks like and, kind of what I started with. This is the older one, but, check with Kevin at Missing Link if you're interested in one. And I'm finishing up here, and last time you saw it, I was getting the interior glued in, so the interior is glued in. But since then, I did glue the engine in and the chassis in. So, buttoned up a few things, got the radiator hose in, everything buttoned up here. So this is pretty much all done up here. Air cleaner does lay in place, and then the hood fits. Everything's, fitting well there. So real happy with all of that. But I wanted to show you getting some more of the chassis finished. So this one, because of the layout and flexing some of this stuff and gluing it in place, decided I was going to do it this way. But one of the first challenges I noticed right away was there's no place, there's no mounting for the exhaust system here. You look at it, there's no pins, there's no nothing. So I came up with the idea of let's use some plastic styrene square, which I used the same stuff I used back here to support the rear end. I use this right here. So just a square rod, cut it, and shaped it to fit the inside of the muffler and squared it off to the desired depth I need. So that gives me a mount there, and I blacked the sides off because it might be visible when you hang this, but without it, when you put this here, there's really no mounting points. You can glue it here at the manifold, but there wasn't anything really for it to sit on. It just kind of rests open there, the open thing, and then maybe get some glue on the frame rail and get that lined up. So I did it that way. And now that I've got fresh mounting points that can definitely hold the entire exhaust system, and I can put a dab here. One of these manifolds I did pop off, and I had to re-glue it. But we'll get some glue out, and we'll glue them in place, because I need to put the exhaust in before I put the drive shaft and rear axle in. So I'll get my super glue. And a toothpick to maneuver it with. Here we go. Make sure I grab the correct side. There we go. Get it lined up with the manifold there, and get the dot right in there too. There we go. Let's do the other side. And this is going under the manifold. I want it on top of the manifold. There we go. There we go. Give that a couple of moments to dry. I kind of like where the exhaust kind of goes. You could see where it ends and how it's lining up there. So you know, my mock-ups and everything kind of helped quite a bit in some of that stuff. Let's see. Now time for get the drive shaft. Get that forward, get that in there, and check the pinning angle. Very important on a real car, not so much the model. All right. Figured I would wait to glue the gas tank in place, but plenty of room. Get that centered. There we go. All right, let's get a little bit more glue up here. Sorry you can't see there, but I'm trying to see in there. But just getting some glue up on the top side because it wasn't quite a very good fit, even though that's just kind of hidden, but and the leaf springs will go on top of it. All right. Holding it in place for a second here. Here we go. Let's rearrange this a little bit. Making it a little bit more comfortable for me right now. Okay. So there's one leaf spring on. Let's get the other one on. Here's the second one. There we go. And let's see, a gas tank. It's about where I want it right there. Oh, come on. All right. So next thing to glue on are the shock braces, shock mounts. All right, that pretty much finishes up the rear suspension. Let's see. Okay. All right, give me an idea on where the rear wheels are going to sit. The tires. I decided I was going to use these white line tires. These are Model Haas tires, number 545. So those are the ones I decided to stick with. And I'll get those glued together here. Kind of get it all mocked up. That's pretty much the last other than the shocks. So I'll give it a minute here to dry. All right. Let's get these off. Get the wheels glued together. Oh, before I do that, let's see about these shocks. That technically will mount right there and there. Okay, kind of a pain, but they do line up. I tend to go through a lot of toothpicks as glue builds up on them. Okay, there's one. Here's the other shock. Now it's a little hard for you to see getting glue on the shock mounts, but all right. Here we go. So there's the shocks and everything else. Now the wheels, I blocked out the centers. Kind of went with that route. Like the way it looked on some of my reference material. And here's a rear. So let's get put that up there a little bit. One, two, Let's make sure we put the tire in there. Right. Give those a little bit of time to dry. All right, let's see how the rear. Okay, I like where the front tires are, but the rear's a little too far. So we'll definitely have to make some spacers, push the wheels out just a little bit more in the rear, get them more like that. Which I think I'm going to need a wider metal axle. So I'll go look in my parts boxes for something longer. And that's the longer one. So there's something I got to fix. But other than that, you know, all of that's done. And pretty happy with all of that. So it's looking really good. I've got just a couple little things to finish up and this thing's done. So I'll complete that later, work on that little project there. And I'll show you the finished results here soon. So there you go. Got the rear suspension and all the rest of the chassis assembled and in there. So that's pretty much done. A couple of little touch-ups here and there. And I'll let you know how it goes. Well, a little update for you guys, a little insert here. I could not find another longer rod. So what I ended up doing was making just some extensions here to extend it out and space it out here. And I just basically took some old wheel backs I had and cut what I needed from them to make these two spacers. So now I like where they are placed now on the car. So I'll get these painted up and glued together, and then this thing will be resting on all four wheels. So you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.